Hey everyone, welcome to a new math lesson with Mr. G. I hope you've really been enjoying all of the math lessons so far, and we're going to keep going on with area with this lesson. So without further ado, let's get started. So for this lesson, we're going to be taking a look and exploring the different ways in which we can make different kinds of maybe letters and pictures using squares on a grid. So I want you to kind of think about, I know we're all quarantined right now, but think about maybe when you were outside and when you were going to a store. And if you've ever seen a store and it was open, you might have seen an open sign, right? And on the open sign, I don't know if you've noticed, but they have to make these open signs out of lots of little tiny lights. And these lights are very small and they arrange them in a certain way so that when they light up, it looks like the letters O, P, E, and N. And when you look at it from afar, you can't really tell that it's all these little lights that are organized in a different shape to make a letter, but you can easily read it right when you see it. So signs usually use this. If you've ever maybe been to a train stations also use this. Very helpful to use this kind of square block style because it's really easy to read from far away and up close, and it also lights up, which is pretty cool. We're going to be taking a look at these letters and designs and thinking about what letters could we make in the alphabet out of a square grid, just like these companies did. And this is a really cool project because we're going to be able to see how many of the 26 letters of the alphabet that we can actually make. So let's get started. All right, everyone. The first thing we're going to do is take a look at a custom alphabet that Mr. G made over here. So what letter of the alphabet do you see right here? I highlighted it in blue. You take a look. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the side. So a 7 by 5 grid. If I was going to find the area of this whole entire grid, I'd simply take 5 times 7, which I know is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So 5 times 7 is 35 in the square grid. But I colored some of them blue to make a letter of the alphabet. So if you notice by now, this is the letter Z, the last letter in the alphabet that I decided to make right over here by filling in some squares. But I wanted to know, how could you maybe figure out the area of this letter? We know the whole thing is 35 squares. I can even count them one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, until I got to 35. But how could I tell what the area is of the blue? So over here in this box, what you can do is figure out the area of the letter. So one thing we can do to figure out the area is by counting each one of these blue squares within the box. So let's go ahead and try and figure out the area. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 blue squares in our grid. So we know the area of the letter Z is 12. So you can do this right now, kind of like you can watching the teacher do it, but I also want you to write it down, kind of like taking notes. We can figure out the area by, you can write counting all of the squares that are filled in. Next, I can say the area of the shape of the letter, sorry, it's not really a shape, is 12 units. So we counted 12 units for this letter Z right here. So you can go ahead and fill this part out. You can pause the video now, give you a second to do that, and go to the slide and fill it out, just like I did right here. All right, so this is the fun part. This is where you're going to be able to try and figure out what other letters of the alphabet we can make. Mr. G made the letter Z, but there's 25 other letters that you can go ahead and try and make. So let's go ahead and see which ones you can come up with. And I'm giving you lots of space and time to kind of let your creativity flow and try it out. Here are the instructions. Take a look at the alphabet here. Mr. G put them all up here in block style. Only capital letters for today. But taking a look at these letters, how many letters do you think you can make using the grid with squares like Mr. D? You're going to go on to the next slides in just a second and try and make some of these letters. and try and make as many letters as you can. Get creative with your designs. Don't just do one letter and just give up. Mr. G just did one Z, so I should definitely see a lot more letters than just a Z on there. You can definitely do a lot of these letters. So my suggestion is to maybe just try and make the first letter of your name. So over here, we're going to go to the next slide, and we're going to use these rectangles, these grids, to go ahead and make the letters of the alphabet, all of them if you can. So let's see how many letters you can make, and do you think any letters are impossible to make, and why or why not? So this is how you can fill in each of these different grids. First, what you're going to do is click a square, then click this bucket button right over here. There's a little bucket button right over here. It's also up here. It says fill in the color. So Mr. G put some directions over here. You can find it right over here. You might not see it at first if you're clicking something else, like it doesn't show up right here. But if you click a square, the little bucket will show up and you can click it to fill in a color. So like Mr. G did blue. If you want to get rid of the color, like if you made a mistake, all you have to do is click that square, click the fill in bucket, and click right here where it says transparent, which means no color. So that's how to erase. So choose a fun color, choose any color you want. You can even do many different colors as long as the other ones are white. And so we're going to be trying to find areas of letters. Like Mr. G said, you can maybe first try a letter that is the first letter of your name. So Mr. G is going to look over here, and I'm going to find the G because my first name starts with the G. So I'm going to try and make the letter G over here for Mr. G. So you can watch me try and figure this one out. So I know a G kind of looks like this shape, so I think I'm going to fill in some of these like this. Switch it up. Let's do red this time. Oh. Undo. Click. Fill in. Yeah. Click. Fill in. Okay. And then I know a G comes down after it has that top. Let's see. All the way around. Okay. And then this looks like a C, but I want to make a G, so I think I'm going to have to go up. Oops, wrong button. And then fill it in that little nook right there, and I think that'll be a G. So Mr. G made a G. Now the last thing I need to do is make the area of the letter and count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the area of the letter is 15 units. All right, so that's my first one. And now I can go on to another letter. So if you notice, Mr. G made lots of pages over here. Look at all these beautiful pages for you to go ahead and try and make as many letters of the alphabet as you can. And after you go ahead and try and play around with as many different alphabets and find their areas, you can go back here, tell us how many letters you were able to make. And if you think any of them you couldn't make, like if you thought some were really impossible, they had you stuck, tell your teacher what that letter was. And we're really excited to see how many different letters y'all can come up with. This is supposed to be a really fun area activity, kind of like a game to make some different letters. If you want, you can even go ahead and on these slides, when you're making letters, see if you can make a message maybe even. All you need to do that is go ahead and duplicate the slide. So I'm gonna click it with 2 fingers if you're on a laptop. And then I'm gonna click duplicate the slide, and you can go ahead and make another slide. And this way you can have as many of these as you want, and you can even kind of make a fun little message. For example, let's see if you can get Mr. G's message right here. Let's see. Another thing you can do is highlight multiple boxes at once, like this, and then fill them in. All right, and this is my message. Can you see it here? What does it spell? Go!